Fox 5 News at 10 starts right now.
Trees uprooted, roofs ripped off, and debris scattered all across the southeast.
You could just hear the roar, and it was not high winds. It was, you could tell it was something else.
Boom, and I turned around and like the back windshield of my car, or the back window of my car is like busted out and the baby was just crying.
Heavy rain and hail pummels Metro Atlanta.
A different kind of crash, with falling trees adding to already dangerous conditions.
And tonight, a new concern.
That car is almost all under.
Fear floods in as rivers rise and roads turn into rivers.
Heavy rains and high water, it's always very, very dangerous. Don't ever try to drive through the water.
Good evening. I'm Russ Spencer.
I'm Courtney Bryant. Thanks for joining us tonight. Here in Georgia, torrential rain and damaging winds slammed the state from early this morning through the afternoon. We have live team coverage on the new threat. Fox 5's Alex Whitler is in East Point, where more than 20 people lost their homes.
Plus, Fox 5 Storm Team Chief Meteorologist David Chanley has been tracking the intense weather all day. We want to begin with David. And David, the torrential rain has stopped, but the rivers and creeks, they're still rising.
You're going to get a lot of runoff through tonight. Well, we're going to see even some more showers overnight tonight, but as the streams and the creeks feed into the rivers, everything's going to be rising the ground, very saturated. It's going to be a mess out there through the overnight and into tomorrow. Here's where we stand right now. Temperatures are getting a little cooler. Not a dramatic chill down yet. That'll come early tomorrow morning. Look at Fox 5 Live Viper right here. We've got a few showers that are still out here. Kind of heavy out towards portions of Jasper County, Morgan County, arcing over toward the Athens area. We've had some wet weather in Walton County and Snellville. And then up across the North Georgia mountains, been a few lingering light rain showers. Gainesville, Dahlonega, Blairsville, over towards Ellijay, Calhoun, and Dalton. You can see here across the southeast the stronger thunderstorms, the severe storms have moved down here right along the Georgia coast towards Jacksonville and then all the way up through the Carolina coast. Behind this now, the system, you're starting to see a few more showers pop up, and then where it meets the colder air, look at all this snow flying. Western Tennessee, northern Mississippi. That is what's coming our direction through the overnight. Yes, including a few snowflakes. So as you go hour by hour, you're going to notice the temperature dropping down into the 30s. As that happens, kind of rings out, especially a few thousand feet up, some snow showers. And we'll see some of that in the North Georgia mountains by early in the morning. Here in Atlanta, we could see a passing flake. Nothing more than that. The ground's too warm. No icing conditions, nothing like that through tomorrow morning. And by tomorrow afternoon, we're breezy and we're chilly. Temperatures there in the low and the mid 40s. We have a little bit of improvement looking toward the weekend, and then more rain next week. We'll get to that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, we'll see you soon, David. Thanks. The storms may have moved on, but many people have not. They're now facing a devastating aftermath.
Yeah, there are several delays in closings. You can find those on our website, fox5atlanta.com, and we also had video from all over the state. We want to start with this shocking scene in Dunwoody. Take a look at the right side of your screen as that massive tree snaps and falls right on a car, nearly crushing it below. This is I-285 near Ashford Dunwoody Road. Thankfully, authorities say the driver of that car is okay. And you can see just how tall that tree was. The city of Dunwoody posted this picture. Looks like the tree snapped in half and left debris scattered across the interstate.
Wow. In Carroll County, a tree toppled onto a dentist office filled with employees at the time. 2 employees, in fact, were working on a patient when that tree came crashing down.
We were sitting there working and heard a loud explosion. It scared us.
Shook the whole building.
Shook us out of our chairs.
The 2 women ran outside as they heard glass shattering all around them. Thankfully, no one was hurt there either. Those are just 2 of dozens of trees that fell all across North Georgia today. Homes, power lines, and cars were all on the receiving end of the storm. We're seeing damage from Metro Atlanta to Jefferson and Adairsville.
One of those trees fell in East Point, and tonight nearly 24 people are without a home.
A tree fell onto the Garden Court apartments in East Point. Fox 5's Alex Whitler says residents there are frustrated and sad.
I gotta scrape my little change to replace things, you know what I'm saying? And I don't, I work hard for what I have, so It hurts.
Vanessa Wilson was busy working as a dental hygienist in Douglasville when she got a call that uprooted everything she's worked for.
It almost feels like I got to start over.
Wilson is one of 22 people who are now living in limbo because of this massive tree that toppled during Thursday morning's storms. When Wilson arrived, she said she had just minutes to gather what she could because the building was deemed unsafe.
I can't even go get my granddaddy's ashes.
The uncertainty lasted well into the evening as those who live here waited for housing assistance from the Red Cross. The property managers, too, were hard at work well past normal business hours, trying to find a sense of normalcy.
My manager, she's been great with helping everybody and stuff like that. She's very understanding.
Multiple residents stopped by to gather what they could from the dark building, not knowing how bad the damage was. It's what's next that's top of mind tonight.
I cried, but, you know, it's life.
And despite Mother Nature forcing droves of people from their homes, neighbors tell me they're sighing relief no innocent lives were snuffed away.
I don't care about myself. Like, that was my main concern, the kids and my grandmother.
Fox 5's Alex Whitler joins us now live from that scene in East Point. Alex, what did management tell you about all this damage?
Well, they said that they're trying to get residents back on their feet, and they're busy, as you can imagine. This is unfortunately about as close as we can get to showing you that tree at this hour. Managers did ask us to leave after we spoke to some of those residents. A couple of the people on the property today told me they were concerned about how old the trees were. They said they don't think they'd been tended to properly. I did ask management, and they tell me that's just not true. They're working on a written statement, and as soon as that becomes available, you can expect to see it on Fox5Atlanta.com. Reporting live in East Point, Alex Whitler, Fox 5 News.
Turning now to Hart County, look at that. Rushing water submerged parking lots, flooded homes, and shut down several roads. This is video from Hartwell. High winds and heavy rain pounded the eastern Georgia County.
He drove out, got into some high water where the water came over the bridge.
Crews in Habersham County had to rescue two drivers this afternoon. Both tried to cross standing water with no luck. This is video of that second rescue. The Amazon delivery driver had to crawl on top of the vehicle. Emergency workers were able to toss a flotation device to the man and pull him to safety. No word on what happened to all the packages in the van. In Georgia, you are allowed to use your hazard lights while you're driving. It's illegal in most other states, but authorities warn just because you can doesn't mean you should. They say hazard lights can actually reduce visibility, making other drivers think you are stopped or stalled. And as David mentioned just moments ago, temperatures in parts of Georgia tomorrow will be in the 30s. And with flooded roads waiting to recede, AAA wants to remind drivers about the potential of black ice.
It's going to be dark. It's going to be hard to see. All ice is black ice when it's dark outside. Just slow down. You can avoid a lot of those incidents just by slowing down.
Georgia is one of several southeastern states hit by this damaging storm system. Let's take a look at the aftermath from our neighboring states. You can hear just how strong the swift water is here, nearly washing out a road in North Carolina. This in Burke County there. Also in North Carolina, take a look at the relentless rain and strong winds that hit Charlotte. Several areas there were, like Georgia, under a tornado watch for some of the day today.
South Carolina didn't escape the severe storms. The National Weather Service is looking into whether a tornado touched down. Extensive damage is in Spartanburg. Flash floods and powerful winds knocked down power lines and trees. And there are even reports of two tractor trailers flipping over. So far, authorities say they haven't received any reports of injuries. Also, Tennessee dealing with flooding. You can see part of the Little Pigeon River in Pigeon Forge overflow into this parking lot. In a nearby county, first responders say they were inundated with water rescue calls.
Well, developing tonight, it's unclear whether the dangerous weather conditions led to this particular crash. 22 students were taken to the hospital after two Social Circle City school buses crashed. School officials say the first bus slammed on its brakes to avoid a car wreck that happened in front of it. The second bus ran into the back of the first one. All of those middle school students have been released from the hospital.
Still ahead tonight on Fox 5 News at 10, President Trump is celebrating a big victory, but that's not why a lot of people are still talking about his acquittal speech.
They served together and fought together in Iraq. Now they are joining forces to heal. I'm Kerry Charles. Still ahead tonight, a special event here in Metro Atlanta that's uniting our nation's warfighters in an effort to keep them from becoming another veteran suicide statistic.
We all know you're not supposed to text and drive. In fact, it's against the law. Well, one driver in the North Georgia mountains says he has evidence of a state representative violating that law. That story coming up.